Hey, welcome back, folks. Wasn't sure I was going to do another live stream. The other one was entirely because I wanted to upload a video that, YouTube really kind of screwed me over on. So we're here. We have some breaking news on the channel. A lot of you Rams fans are not going to be happy, and you Chargers fans should be very happy. Brandon Staley, former Rams defensive coordinator, is headed to the Chargers to be the main man and the head coach for that football team. They have a very, very good defense. They were my favorite if Brandon Staley did get hired. I felt like that was his best option. I didn't feel like Staley was just going to leave just to leave. He was not going to take the Texans job. He was not going to take the Eagles job. I don't think he was going to take the Lions job. But the reason I see Chargers as a fit, first off, you get your franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert. They're more solidified at the quarterback position than the team he's coming from. But second, look at the defense he has to work with. He has guys like Derwin James, Nasir Adderley, Joey Bosa, Linval Joseph, Justin Jones, Jerry Tillery, a former first-round pick in 2019. Kenneth Murray, first-round pick this past season. Chris Harris Jr. So there's a lot of guys there that he's able to work around and work with. And so I get it. I totally understand why he would leave. You don't always have an opportunity to have a head coaching position. So it's unfortunate. It's disappointing as a Rams fan, but I get it. I do get it. I understand it. It makes sense. It's a position where this is honestly, he doesn't have to rewrite anything. The Chargers are ready to compete. You can go back and look at their season. The Chargers were in many games this year, and it came down to, final second coaching in which Anthony Lynn kind of struggled down the stretch. So, you have a quarterback in Justin Herbert. You have a defense. This is a great move for Brandon Staley. But now, what happens now with the Rams? They no longer have a defensive coordinator. He led their defense to number one league. They're going to lose Floyd, likely. They're going to lose Johnson, likely. Is the sky falling for the Rams? No, it's not. Aubrey Pleasant is somebody that was very, very, very highly sought after. He had an interview with the Bengals with Zach Taylor's coaching staff. So this is somebody that definitely, is well respected. He was someone I trust very well. He told me that he was kind of the defensive Sean McVay in waiting. So Aubrey Pleasant, the cornerbacks coach, Jalen Ramsey gave a shout out to him. Assuming Brandon Staley doesn't take him over to the Chargers, he could be your defensive coordinator. And look, I think the Rams want to go in-house here because I think ultimately they want to keep what Brandon Staley was doing. They want to keep the same scheme, the same system, all of that. If they go in-house, look at the cornerback coach that I just mentioned in Aubrey Pleasant. Look at the linebackers coach and assistant head coach Joe Barry. Look at Chris Shula as another option, outside linebackers coach. And, of course, look at Eric Henderson, who's done a marvelous job with the defensive line. Those are the guys that you have to keep in mind. I do think that those are probably the best options for an in-house hire. But if they do go out of the building, there's one guy that comes to mind, Jim Leonard. He's the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin. There's a chance he may not want to leave Wisconsin, but he is somebody that the Rams were interested in before they hired Staley. He was one of the guys that they were talking about. And look, this is still a good destination. The Rams are going to be able to get somebody, if not in-house. They can go out and get somebody. Matt Patricia did a great job as a defensive coordinator. Obviously we can talk about how he was as a head coach and he wasn't very good, but he's a great defensive coordinator in New England. You could look at Steve Belichick if you poach him from New England. There are options. There are options out there. I wouldn't worry too much. It's a real bummer to lose Staley, but it's also just 1 year. And another thing to keep in mind, Sean McVay had more input this year than any year with the defense. He wanted that. So could, some of this have to do with the fact that Sean McVay was more into the defensive game plan? Maybe. But I do think, definitely Brandon Staley is a legit loss. It's going to hurt. I'm not going to lie. But, that's kind of that's where we're at right now. So I see all you guys commenting. No, Staley. Man, I'm sad that Staley is leaving. That sucks. We lost Staley. Replacements. I gave you replacements, kind of just throwing them out there. But for those that are just joining the stream, I would say Aubrey Pleasant is probably number 1. Number 2, Joe Barry, who was sought after by the Raiders, could be a defensive coordinator there. He's staying. Number 3, Eric Henderson, defensive line coach that came over from the Chargers, ironically. Number 4, Chris Shula, the outside linebacker coach, and then outside of the house, you'd probably look at a Matt Patricia or Jim Leonard from Wisconsin. Let's see. That sucks. We lost Staley. Do you think the Rams can get to top 5 defense with a different coordinator next season? I do. I mean, I think, as great as Brandon Staley was, and I mean, he was great, you have to keep in mind, they had, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, John. I mean, they were a very talented roster. So as long as they, are able to fill in those gaps, or maybe they bring back Floyd, or maybe they bring back John Johnson, I think they're going to be fine. This is not a team that's about to rebuild. They have not rebuilt at all in Sean McVay's tenure, and that will not happen. Aubrey, Dan, Staley is gone. He's a one and done. 1 year with us, and he moves. What on earth was that hire? How do you guys pass on Dable? That's a crazy thing. You want to talk about insult to injury and throwing salt in the wound. If the Rams win, if they beat the Packers, Staley doesn't get hired today. And if the Bills lose, Dable is probably your head coach in LA for the Chargers. So it's just really unfortunate in that regard. I am happy for Staley, though. I think he deserves it. You kept hearing, well, I don't know. He's a year away, and I never felt that. And anybody trying to justify, with a playoff game, I don't know. But anyway, the Clippers of the NFL. I mean, kind of, but I'm disappointed, but happy. Same here. There goes Rams defense. I disagree. I don't think that they're gone. Guys, I hate to say it, but we're going 9-7 or 8-8 next season at best, 10-6. Look at our cap space situation, the free agents we have to let walk, key pieces to our defense. Keep this in mind, Nick, and I understand your frustration and, just kind of, upset nature, but this is not over. The Rams have not showed what they were going to do. We don't know who the defensive coordinator will be. We don't know, what the Rams are going to do as far as manipulating the cap. I mean, they're going to have to do something. So we just don't know. As a Jets fan, I love Saleh, but we actually had a chance at Dable. I like Saleh more than Dable. I think Dable's good. I'm not sold on Brian Dable. I think he's one of the better options, but I'm not sold on him. I think Saleh is a culture changer, which is what the Jets needed. The Chargers will be good. I agree. Wish him the best. Rams fans have more to worry about, like how to get a real quarterback. Yeah, and right now, I mean, Sean McVay, I don't know if he's entirely sold on Goff, but we'll see. Is this good or bad? Well, it's good if you're a Chargers fan. Obviously, it's not good if you're a Rams fan. Do I even have to talk about our quarterback? Goff is not worth it. Wolford is our starter IMO. Brandon, it's very bad. Yeah, we have no salary cap room. Yeah, I thought so. Rebuild year. We don't have the salary cap to re-sign. Thank you, YouTube. I was not only reading that, but okay. Re-sign the free agents we have to let walk. There is more where he came from. Carry on. We need to let Josh Reynolds walk and put Van Jefferson at wide receiver 3. I agree with that. Cam Akers is a monster. I don't mind if we have to let Reynolds walk. Reynolds blows. I won't say that. Our O-line needs work. We need linebackers. Secondary because JJ3, Troy Hill, and Darius Williams are... Okay, so Darius Williams is a restricted free agent, so he is not... The Rams are likely going to get him back. The other guys I can't guarantee. Y'all Rams fans mad like I'm... LOL, I'm a Chargers fan. Lawrence, congratulations on getting Brandon Staley. I mean, I can tell you, he's a great coach, and I think he's going to do wonders for the Chargers because I don't think the Chargers are that far away from making the playoffs. I don't think they're that far away from being a contender. I really don't. So It's really good hire. Really unfortunate for the Rams, really good for the Chargers. So sad, I'm sad. Rams have worse linebackers in the league. I disagree with that. Chargers fan, good game, Chargers. You don't run LA, but I like Herbert and Bosa. What we doing, linebacker core, because Staley made them good. Herbert and Dable would have been massive. Our linebackers are trash, bro. Well, Steven, I forget his name, but the OC for the Chargers, I don't know if he's still going to be there, but Steven Scheisser or whatever, I don't remember his name, but he and Herbert were on the same page, so I don't know necessarily if they needed an offensive-minded guy. Wanted Staley over Dable, bolt up. Congratulations, Mr. Bridge. I agree we need new linebackers. Aubrey Pleasant for DC. There better be than Sea Chickens. Buddy Ryan. Dude, the Rams aren't trash. You like the Chargers? Okay. Let's see. We need Watson. We should make Aubrey Pleasant our new DC. So I see a lot of people know Pleasant. I've made way too much of a fuss over Aubrey Pleasant, so I'm sure a lot of people that follow me know what I'm talking about. Also, if you like me, you like what I'm saying, you like what I do, be sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter at JKBoganDTSN. I do follow back. James, Chargers fans are absolutely welcome in this stream. Everyone's welcome in this stream. Everyone. This is Jake Ellenbogen channel. This is not a Rams channel. This is just, I'm a Rams fan, and I've done a lot of Rams content over the last few weeks, and everyone's welcome. You're all welcome. Need a new center, Blythe. Okay. Do you think Whitworth is retiring? No, I don't. Not for long. Staley is with the Chargers. No, I agree. Chargers fan here, and I don't like this at all. The B-Man 619. Can you explain why you don't like it? I'm actually curious to know that. Let's see. This is a good hire, Romeo. Good hire. The Chargers got a good one. What's your honest, super early opinion on the Chargers' next season record? Wow, this is super early, Mario, but I guess, I mean, at least I'd say 9-7, 10-6. I mean, there are a lot of games that they could have won with better game management at the end. It came down the wire. So I don't think it's crazy to think the Chargers could go 10-6 next year. Not at all. So, how long till draft vid? Draft vids are coming. Draft videos are definitely coming. Herbert is new in the league, and the program is still developing. I just think he needs a good offensive mind. Well, okay, so B-Man, here's my thing for that, though, is that you can find a good OC, okay? You can find a good OC. You don't need to hire an offensive-minded head coach just to get a good OC. That's the common misconception. Just like you don't need to hire a defensive-minded defensive coach just to get a good defense. So I think the thing is Brandon Staley and his preparation and just the way everybody raves about him, it's less about the fact that he came in there as a rookie defensive coordinator and had a number one defense, but more about what he got out of his players and what people are saying about him and how prepared he is. That's the guy I want as a head coach. You know, you can go out and get an offensive mind. There are plenty of offensive minds. If you want to go out and get a guy that I like, personally, I would recommend, you know, he's doing wonders for Keaton Slovis at USC. I'm wearing a USC hoodie. I'd say Graham Harrell, you know. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, B-Man. I don't think that's a huge deal as far as, you know, you didn't get Dable. I understand you want an offensive guy, but trust me, you're going to be fine. What's up, LA Rams? How we doing? Yeah, he's familiar with the building. That's true. Respect, bro. Hey, appreciate that, Mario. It sucks so much that Terrell Lewis had to sit out this season so much. Yeah, I mean, he's a very injury-prone player. That's why he fell to the third round. What will happen, Eric Bieniemy, now that he deserves a job? I mean, Eric Bieniemy might not get the Houston job because Kansas City moved on. If Kansas City lost, maybe he gets hired. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Houston hires Jim Caldwell. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Bryson Hopkins is going to be good. And if JJ walks, I have a lot of hope for Terrell Burgess, and Van is better than Reynolds. All of that is correct. I have a lot of faith in Van, and I really like Terrell Burgess. I think McVay will hire a good defensive coordinator. Go Chargers, go! I do too. I think not having a ton of cap room, he and Obo will be our pass rushers to replace Floyd. Don't forget about Justin Hollins. I think he's going to start if the way it is right now. I'm out. Why are you out? Come on, man. With 9 picks and decent cap, the Chargers will be automatic contenders under Staley. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I think that as well. Yeah. It would have been a different season if they had Derwin James healthy too. People forget, well, not Chargers fans, but anybody outside the Chargers fans, forget Derwin James was out for the year. That would have been a different defense with Derwin James. Imagine getting blown out 45-0 at SoFi. I find out this news 3 a.m. in the morning. Pain. Appreciate the love, brother. Hope it works out. Yeah, B-man. I hope it works out for you. I'm going to be rooting for Staley. I'm a Rams fan. Obviously, I'm bummed that Staley's gone, but I'm not going to root against the Chargers because they took Staley. This happens. The Rams took Sean McVay from Washington. It happens. I think we stick with the trading first-round picks to get proven talent. I'd honestly give a first for an God, it's so annoying. For an offensive line, I think our late round picks have really been good lately. Yeah, I don't know if I want to give up another first round pick unless it's like for Watson, but I hear you. Who could be the replacement for the Rams? Yeah, Dylan. So if you missed it, I said, not in order. Aubrey Pleasant, Chris Shula, Joe Barry, Eric Henderson. They're all part of the Rams organization. And then Jim Leonard of Wisconsin, defense coordinator. As a Rams fan, I'm kind of glad he's gone. Last game was horrible defensive play calling. Yeah, it wasn't a great defensive play calling type of game, and he did get outplayed, but I wouldn't be glad he's gone. Don't let one game with Aaron Donald 40% health throw you off. I mean, he was damn good. How do we deal with cap, but at the same time trade Goff and draft O-line and linebacker? Well, I mean, you can trade Goff. You have to designate it as a post-June 1st post-June 1st move in order to only lose $22 million in cap instead of a boatload. It can be done. It definitely can. Go Chargers, go, but back to San Diego. Let's see here. Need a new quarterback. I'm assuming you're a Rams fan because the Chargers do not need a new quarterback. Who's winning the Super Bowl this season? Great question. I think it's the Packers. I do. Definitely. If y'all want, all of y'all can be a Chargers fan. Dable the Eagles, Caldwell the Texans. It sounds like it could be. Don't sleep on Tim Kelly with the Texans. OC he was the OC for Deshaun Watson. Now I don't know if necessarily that matters. And then Joe Brady, who was the OC for the Panthers. He doesn't get it this year. He's going to get it next year. So, who's going to be our defensive coach? I think it's going to be Aubrey Pleasant, but we'll see. Us Rams fans can never have any nice things, can we? Unfortunately not. As of right now, the record prediction for us next year. As of right now, with all the impending free agents, I'd say 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, around that. I mean, this team is either going to barely miss the playoffs or make the playoffs every year with Sean McVay. They're not going to have a horrible team. It's just not going to happen. We need to go back to our classic uniforms. I'm a Chargers fan. My mom's a Rams fan, so win-win. Oh, there you go. That's cool. I like that. Are we drafting a new quarterback? I don't really like any of the quarterbacks to draft early on, so maybe later, but I mean, you're not going to get a franchise quarterback, I don't think, in this draft unless you're picking in the first round. Bro, this is a good hire. Defense is going to be scary. I agree with you, Sergio. Definitely agree with you there. Green Bay is winning it all. I'm happy for Rodgers. Same here. I hope they do, and I think they do. So we need to go back to our classic uniforms. Staley the same without AD and Ramsey. Always been blessed with talent. He won't be the same. I disagree because as great as absolutely as great as Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey are, keep in mind he's got Derwin James and Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa isn't Aaron Donald, but let's not act like Joey Bosa is a slouch. I mean, he's a great player. James is one of the best safeties in all of football, so it changes the game. Absolutely changes the game. And they'll go out and they'll have a better pick this year because they weren't good this year. They'll have a better pick so they can go out and get another guy. They're going to have cap. So this is a great move by Staley. I totally get it. It's a good pickup one for sure. That's why I'm here too, Juan. Yeah, see, I knew I had to do like an emergency live stream immediately because I knew I had a lot of Chargers people on here. By the way, be sure to subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Like, I appreciate it. Also, at JK Bogan DTSN on Twitter, I'll follow back. But yeah, no, I wanted to do this because, well, I was watching some film and then I saw this news come out and I was like, let's do a live stream and we'll get Chargers fans in here. We'll get Rams fans in here. We'll learn a little bit more, you know. It's kind of how I looked at it. I knew some of you guys would be interested. 130 people in 22 minutes. That's a lot of interest. Let's see. Go Wolford. I wanted Dable, but looking forward to Staley. I dig it. Glad he's gone. Definitely not glad he's gone. Has Jordan Fuller not been playing? He looked good against the Bucs. He was drafted in the 6th round. We really do good with late round picks, less than Sean. Jordan Fuller's been starting. Yeah, he had a poor game last game, but he had a good rookie year for sure. Let's see. Again, YouTube is totally messing with the comments. I don't know what's going on. It has to be Pleasant next, right? I'm thinking so. I'm definitely thinking so. I was hoping for the 3rd World Championship for LA this season. Yeah, so was I, James. So was I. Jared, the director, isn't on, so I had to come looking. One season, WTF. It happens. We will trade y'all Herbert for Goff and a bag of chips, no less. No, you won't. Are you kidding me? Tampa is taking the Super Bowl. They might. We trading Goff? Maybe. Lovie Smith interviewed with Chicago the week of Super Bowl 36 to Pats. Interesting. Losing that game cost us our coach. You could argue that is correct. How do you think it'll affect our D? I mean, it's going to affect the defense in some facet, but I don't think it's going to be detrimental. Bad hire for Chargers. I disagree, respectfully. Sonny, Chargers fan here. Was this a good hire? It was, Sonny D. It was. A lot of one and dones, coaches and players. Rams always changing pieces. It's true. We need to trade Goff for Watson. We need mobile quarterback. That's the most modern era in football, mobile quarterbacks. I agree with you. I mean, if you can get Watson, you absolutely need to get him. It's just not a guarantee. Thoughts on Jared Goff? I don't know. It's a roller coaster. Like you said, it's a roller coaster. I mean, the 3 guys, I've said this repeatedly, the 3 guys I see under center next year for the Rams, there's only 3. Jared Goff, John Wolford, or Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson's not likely, but I could see that. John Wolford seemed likely to a lot of people, but he's legit. And he could beat out Goff for a starting job, and then they could trade Goff. I don't know. But that's kind of where I'm at on that. Green Bay is getting ripped off next week. Rams trade 2/3 and a future first and second for early first rounders. What do you think? That's a lot. I don't think that they would do it. I think they should just try to accumulate picks in day 2. Honestly, I just want to pick on day 2. I love day 2 prospects are my favorite, to be honest with you. The value is just through the roof. Getting guys in the 3rd round. I mean, just look at what the Rams were able to do. So that's where I'm at on that. Would you trade our 3 third-round picks for a first-round pick and a 4th this year? I mean, I would, but no team is going to accept that, Jordan. That's just not enough capital. Herbert for Goff and a bag of chips, no less. Do you think it was a good hire, better than Dable from the Bills? I do, Chris B. I definitely, I do. I believe it was a better hire. Let's see. Rams for life. I'm pretty excited. Yes, it was. I just joined. You're kidding me? Staley gone? Yeah, he is. Unfortunately. I just hope he has a good offensive plan. Well, Okay, so Shell Shock 546. Staley could retain the OC at the moment. I don't think he's a bad OC. He could go out and get an offensive-minded guy. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if Staley's going to grab any defensive guys from the Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised if he brings over, say, a Shane Waldron to be his OC, or even Kevin O'Connell, who's the Rams' offensive coordinator, like trying to get him to call plays. I wouldn't be surprised if any of that happens, you know. But at the end of the day, he's a defensive-minded guy, and he's going to be the coach, but he needs to get an offensive guy. So I think that's what he'll do. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. As things progress, he's going to build that coaching staff, and it's going to be interesting. Will there be a quarterback battle between Wolfie and Goff this offseason? I think there could be. And let's see here. So, okay, so what is going on? I just joined. Okay. Do you think Staley has enough experience? I'm not worried about experience because when people were telling me that Sean McVay's too young to be a head coach, and I was like, he's 30, it's fine. It's worked out. So, you know, sometimes like experience. I mean, he's 38 years old. He's worked his way up the rungs. I mean, he was coaching at like John Carroll, you know. I mean, he's really worked his way up the rungs, and this is a Vic Fangio type of guy that, you know, he really likes. So I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. I think he's going to do a nice job. Well, Matt LaFleur turned out all right. I'm excited to be a Chargers fan with Staley and Herbert. Yeah, no, absolutely. And you mentioned Matt LaFleur. He left the Rams to go to the Titans because in the same job, except he actually got to call plays for the Titans, and that set him up for getting a head coaching spot with the Packers. So that's why I think if, as a Chargers fan, I'd be looking to see if it's a Shane Waldron passing game coordinator or if it's the OC, Kevin O'Connell, to go over to the Chargers and call plays instead of the fact that they're not calling plays with the Rams. It boosts their resume. You know, like I said, we've seen it with LaFleur. Sean McVay sounds iffy on if Goff will be a starter next year. He definitely does. Tampa Bay will beat the Packers. Packers will win the Super Bowl. You have a lot of knowledge of coaches and players. Good job. Appreciate that. I'm a huge fan of this whole process. I follow all the coaches, even assistant coaches. I try to be on my game, and I try my best for you guys. We'll see if it's good enough, but appreciate it. If John Johnson stays, I think I would trade Rapp to the Lions for Galladay. You wouldn't get Galladay for Taylor Rapp. Galladay is legit. Also, Galladay is a free agent, so you wouldn't be able to trade for him. Eric Henderson should be a defensive coordinator. Yup. Tampa Bay wins the Super Bowl. Subscribe. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. Or Bills will take it. Have to get Watson. We need to upgrade our O-line. Exactly. Goff is stupid. Watson want Miami. Draft Ojulari. I'll have to jot that down. Do you think Staley was responsible for the Rams' success on defense, or would any decent? Okay, so I don't want to say Staley like totally had everything for him. I think he legitimately took them to a level they had never been. So, I think Staley's legit. I'm not trying for a second to be like, well, he's not on the Rams anymore, so I'll backtrack and say, well, this defense made him. Look, Staley looked different without 100% Aaron Donald in the trenches, and I was concerned in that game that he didn't make the proper adjustments because he was playing like they had a full 100% Donald and they were getting pressure. But Staley's legit. He's the real deal. He comes from a Vic Fangio background, and now Sean McVay. I just think he's on too many coaches and has done too much to say that he's a 1-year wonder. Chargers fan here. I appreciate you doing this, and thanks for the info. Absolutely. Happy to help. O-line and receiver picks. Who should they draft on the O-line and receiver? Right now, I mean, I don't know if they should draft anybody at receiver. I like Creed Humphrey on the offensive line. We should draft a linebacker. This is what needs to happen. Free agents sign a deep threat wide receiver, upgrade the O-line, draft a middle linebacker. We'll see. How do we get our offense back to its 2018 form with number one offense in the league. Finding 2018 Jared Goff and getting that confidence back and the arm strength and arm accuracy. It's the strength. It's the accuracy. So we'll see. I don't even know if Goff's going to start, to be honest. I'm really confused with what the Rams are going to do. Not confused. Like, I'm okay with whatever the Rams choose to do. I don't know for sure what the Rams will decide to do. How do we get our off? Okay. Don't forget John Johnson the third. What the Rams' first pick? That's a must. Isn't he going to be a free agent? One sec. I'm going to close the door. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I just heard it was like someone was here and getting loud. I'm in an office building because I'm in the office, so just wanted to get that out of the way. So you didn't hear all the backsplash noise and everything. Let's see. Is he going to be a free agent? JJ3, he is. Who do you think the Rams will get as their defensive coordinator? I think it's going to be Aubrey Pleasant. Give me John Wolford and some offensive line upgrades. If John Johnson stays, I think the Rams should trade Rapp to the Lions for Galladay. Agreed. I mean, I don't really think that you can trade for Galladay since he's going to be a free agent. So, how about Goff for Wentz? Anyways, Wentz don't want to be in Philly. Yeah, but Philly does want Wentz. Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, is a big fan of Carson Wentz. I think there's not a guarantee on. Look how Goff played yesterday. He can be decent, hopefully. Philly is keeping Wentz. Yes, they are. I think Shane Steichen or Pep Hamilton might be calling plays for the. Okay, Steichen is the guy I was talking about. I actually like him. And if he's the OC, I think that shows a lot of maturity from Brandon Staley. Unless he brings somebody over from the Rams, I think it shows a lot of maturity from Brandon Staley to go ahead. I actually really liked it. It was very similar to when Matt LaFleur, instead of going out and getting his DC, he decided to keep Mike Pettin, and I like that. I like seeing that. So Shane Steichen, who I was trying to mention earlier, I couldn't remember the name. I like him. I think they should stick with him personally. Cam Akers will be our future superstar in running back. I agree. Agreed. Sounds good. Staley is good, but not much of a sample size to judge off of. I mean, the sample size is that he went from linebackers coach to number one defense in the league as a defensive coordinator. So I don't know. Let's see. What is going on? Is there some breaking news? I'm trying to find you guys. Tweet is unavailable. I saw something, but apparently not. What's interesting, though, is because Staley was hired, you could see Leonard Floyd go over to the Chargers in free agency. He is a free agent. You could also see John Johnson. I don't know if they would, sign John Johnson, but if they did, imagine him and Derwin James. Pretty crazy. Are we trading for a quarterback or drafting? I think you would trade for one or keep what you have. Drafting one to be your quarterback. There's nobody worth taking out of the first. Yes, the Rams do have a second-round pick. Goff would have been 4,000. I mean, he could have, yeah, but that's assuming he had 3 touchdowns in that game and 3,000 yards. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Who do you think they'll target for defensive coordinator? I'm thinking if you're talking about the Chargers, because technically they wouldn't need a defensive coordinator, I would say Aubrey Pleasant. If the Rams don't bring Aubrey Pleasant as their defensive coordinator, then I'd imagine he goes with Brandon Staley. But Can you hear? I don't know what's going on. That's really weird. You guys can hear me now? No? Let's see. Okay, cool. There's like a severe lag at times, and I just don't know what's going on. So, um, cool, cool. We're good. We're cooking with gas. So what I was saying is, and I don't know if you heard me, but I was just reading out Jordan Rodriguez's tweets. She does a great job covering the Rams for The Athletic, and she was basically saying that Thomas Bryant and Kevin O'Connell, for the Chargers fans, um, could be the OC for Brandon Staley with the Chargers. For the Rams side, she said kind of like what I was saying to you guys with Aubrey Pleasant and Eric Henderson taking over those two as the options for the defense. It's a matter if Sean McVay wants to keep the same defense intact. If they want to keep the same Brandon Staley type of defense with a lot of rotating of defensive linemen and corners, they're going to have those two guys as options. If they want to go out of the house completely, then they'll go after a guy like Jim Leonard. So that's where we're at. But it is 11 over here, so it is getting to that point where I have to start wondering how much longer I will be streaming. Let's see. Just promote Pleasant. Looks like a lot of people want Jim Leonard. I want Pleasant, personally. But I won't fight anyone if that's the case. So why would O'Connell leave for the same job for the Chargers? Great question, Jordan. The point of that is that O'Connell doesn't call the plays. So now he would be calling the plays with the Chargers. It helps his resume to eventually become a head coach. What are the offenses coach if they take Kevin? Oh, so who would be the OC for the Rams? The options? If they take Kevin O'Connell, I'd say Thomas Brown. Thomas Bryant. Thomas Brown? Thomas Bryant? I think I butchered the name. Hold on a sec. I think it's Thomas Brown, the running backs coach. Thomas Brown. Thomas Bryant is a center for the Washington Wizards. Okay. Yeah, it would be Thomas Brown, I think. I think Pleasant could be as good as Staley. I mean, I thought he should have gotten the job before the Rams got Staley, and Staley ended up being a dream. So we'll see. Yes, exactly, Jackson Scott. It'd be exactly why it's like the same thing, 100%. Let's see. Yeah, Brandon Staley also at one point was an offensive assistant, so he's seen both sides of the ball as well. So yeah, you can't release Jared Goff. You probably have to trade him, and it have to be like a clever way of doing it. Yeah, just don't get Greg Williams again. I agree. Keep the D. It's about who can call the plays. Bolt up. Congratulations on your new coach. Once again, if you guys, I hate constantly saying this, but if you guys like what you're watching, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Anytime I drop a video or go live, you're going to get the notification immediately. Um, Also, you can follow me on Twitter, and I'm going to put it right here at JKBogan, DTSN, and I follow back. Staley, free agent, would you personally sign this season? Oh, what free agent? Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull up your cap because I need to see what I'm dealing with here with the Chargers. So the Chargers at 22 million in cap space. Let's see here. They have about 6 million in cap rollover from 2020. So they're the exact opposite as the Rams. The Rams have negative 21 million in cap, and Chargers have 22 million. You could cut. Let's see here. So, I mean, you could probably restructure like a Keenan Allen or somebody like that, convert it to bonus money, and save you about 8 million. You'd have about 30 million in cap. Restructuring Bosa would save you about 10 million, so you'd have 41 in cap. So if you did those two, say you have 41 million in cap, I mean, I'd go after Leonard Floyd as a pass rusher, and then on top of that, I would try and get John Johnson if I'm the Chargers. I'm just being honest. So Keenan Allen, Leonard Floyd, and then after that, I mean, can you cut any of these guys? Like, let's say Linval Joseph. He's getting paid a lot of money. I think he's the guy that you could cut. He'd save you $7.5 million. So then you're at 48. And then you look, Trey Turner's not somebody you would cut. Mike Williams isn't somebody you would cut. Casey Hayward at 32 years old. Is he a cap casualty? You'd save about 9.7 million. You're up to 58 million now. So, there's options that you could go certain ways with this. Keep in mind, you're going to have to eventually pay Derwin James. You're going to have to do that. He's on a rookie deal. But from what I'm seeing here is that, like he's paid long term. You could also cut Chris Harris Jr. and save you $7.5 million. I wouldn't do that, but you could do that and get you to 65. So there's a pathway for the Chargers to get up to $58 million in cap. And that'd be huge for them. So you want to cut Trey Turner? What, Charger fans? Oh, for the Rams, I'm sorry. Let me look at the Rams. Okay, so the Rams, you're at negative. Well, let's say you trade for Deshaun Watson. So it actually saves you 1.8 million in cap if you trade Jared Goff for Deshaun Watson. So say you're at negative 19, and then you could restructure. I don't know. You could restructure Aaron Donald. It would save you about 14 million in cap space. Convert it to bonus money. So now you have negative 5 million. Say you could restructure Ramsey, which would save you 13 million in cap space, which gets you to 7 million like under the cap. You could restructure Whitworth, and that wouldn't save you much, so you wouldn't want to do that. I'm just kind of playing around here on Spotrac. So restructuring Cup really wouldn't help. Woods would help. If you restructure Woods, it would save you 9 million in cap space, about 16 million now in cap. Havenstein, say you cut him outright, you save about $5 million. Say you restructure. Let's say you cut Havenstein, so you save $5 million. So now you're back to 22 under the cap, and say you can't really cut Ashawn Robinson because that would give you negative. So right here you would have you have 22 million in cap space. You could restructure Watson at that point, and it wouldn't save you much, but you could. Restructure Brockers wouldn't do much. You could cut Brockers and save you about $5 million. I don't know if I would do that. You could cut Whitworth and save you about $5 million. Again, I don't know if I would do that. Restructure Cup would be about $6 million in change. So the max the Rams could really get up to, assuming they don't really screw around with the cap, it's about $28 million. So it's doable, and that's with the Watson Goff trade. So, they could do that. Okay, so you don't like Trey Turner. Okay, so I'll go back to my Chargers scenario. So you cut Trey Turner, and he saves you $11 million in cap. So he has to be gone at that point. So that gives you about $69 million in cap. You have Brandon Staley. You have a defense. You have Justin Herbert, and you have $69 million in cap. Chargers are in a position, man. Let's see. Where is... You can't cut Bulaga because it would give you negative $3 million in cap space. So it would hit you hard. You could restructure him and save $3.3 million, but this year unfortunately I didn't really like that deal when it happened. You wouldn't be able to cut Bulaga. It just would be awful for your cap. It's like the same as the Rams. Like they wouldn't be able to cut Ashawn Robinson. They would incur a -2 cap penalty. So -2 million cap penalty. Let's see. Can't cut Floyd. Floyd is a free agent, so you can't cut him. Bulaga, you just can't cut, unfortunately. Like, it's not the best deal, and it's just one of those ones where, I get it, he stole money. I'm sorry, but Big Wit gotta go so we can save more money to spend. I mean, but, okay, so I know we get really involved in cap space, and it's fun, talk about all these trades and everything, but think about it. How much of that cap space really helps? At the end of the day, is it worth trading all those players for one? That's what you need to think about, because essentially Andrew Whitworth is still a top 5 tackle in football. So if he wants to come back like he's saying he does, and you cut him and you save $5 million, that's about enough to pay a 4th or 3rd receiver. Is that worth it? That's what you have to ask yourself. Yes, the Chargers will absolutely switch to a 3-4 defense now. They will, Hilda. Big Wit won't retire. I think he's going to stay. Do you think we get J.J.R. Floyd back? I don't, unfortunately. I think Floyd is going to go to the Chargers. I think he's going to follow Brandon Staley. He should. He really should. Or he should either follow Brandon Staley or take a pay cut. And I don't know why he would, but he should stay with Aaron Donald or Brandon Staley, one way or the other. So yeah. That's that. I think we covered that pretty well. Rams can trade for Watson. It actually save him $1.8 million. They can't trade for Houston trading for Jared Goff. Let me do the flip side of this and just explain to you. It's not going to be easy for Houston to make that trade. So here, so now Houston will do manage roster. You can do this on Spotrac. They have negative 20 million in cap. So, okay, so say Houston cuts J.J. Watt. They save $17.5 million by cutting him. Or if they trade him, it's like they don't incur a penalty at all. So say they cut him. They're still negative 3 million over the cap. So then they trade Watson for Goff. We'll give him Jared Goff. So that's going to give him negative 33 million in cap space. So then it's like Brandon Cooks. They cut Brandon Cooks, it saves 12 million. They cut Whitney Merciless, it doesn't do a thing. It's negative 3 million. So then Whitney Merciless, they'd have to base salary restructure. Could save about 6 million in cap. That gets them to negative 18. And then Zach Cunningham would give them negative 6.7 million in cap if they cut him. So they have to go with a base salary restructure. That would give them 5.6 million in cap space. And then Randall Cobb, cut him. It gives you a negative 1.6 million in cap. So you'd have to restructure him. And that gets you to it gets you about negative 9 million in cap. And then Bernardrick McKinney, that would save you about 7 million. So because of that, you would be right on the cusp of doing that. And then Eric Murray, you cut him, doesn't really do anything. You restructure him, you're about negative 485K. And then Nick Martin, you cut him, you save 6.25 million. And that's how you trade Jared Goff. You trade Deshaun Watson for Jared Goff and picks, and you get under. But you see now how it's easier for the Rams. The Rams can make it happen a lot easier than the Texans can. It's not easy for Houston to do it. Houston has to cut a lot of guys, and they're going to be awful. So, well, let's see. Oh, what's up, Russ? Long time no talk. Hope all is well, buddy. Appreciate that. Let's go Bolts, says Jesus. Will JJ go to the Chargers? I mean, he could. He absolutely could go to the Chargers. Why would they trade Goff after a one-down season? I don't, Goff has not had one down season. He's had 2 down seasons. And you could argue, if you wanted to be petty, you could say his rookie season was a down season. So you could argue that Jared Goff got a giant deal for having 2 good years. 1 good year and 1 almost elite year. So that's where we're at that. So, yeah. Wow, 113 people still watching. I think I need to head home. Got work in the morning. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Again, if you like me, you like watching my stuff, be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Going to be coming out with more videos soon, draft videos, what have you. And I appreciate you guys. It's fun. I love doing this. I love the interaction, and if I didn't have anything to do, I'd be on here all day. Maybe someday that'll be possible. I don't know, but appreciate y'all. You stay safe. Have a great night, and maybe I'll be on tomorrow. Who knows? This is going well, so let's keep it up.